Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining us, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
Back. Did I miss it?
Your co-host, Hunter.
Hey, everybody.
And your co-host, Spaz.
Now on sale for a limited time.
Nice.
Folks, we were going to talk about this last week, but we had some technical issues. Spaz's computer blew up.
Yep.
Which is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Had to replace it, so yeah.
I'm a little worried about mine. Like, I've got a fan that's clicking in there. I got to figure out which one it is. I don't know which one it is. I got to figure that out. Hopefully it's just a case fan, but I don't know. So I feel you. But welcome back. The Steam sale is still on. We were going to talk about this last week, but it's still going on for a couple of days. So friends, we wanted to help you find some of the best deals during the Steam sale. It's one of the biggest sales of the year. So y'all might know that I have a curator page, or we have a curator page on Steam. It's got a lot of reviews. And so it's got pretty much every space game on Steam is on there, pretty much. There might be one or two stragglers, but pretty much every space game is on there. And what I did was I went through the list to see what was on sale, and then I kind of tried to pick the best deals based on the best discounts, what was at an historical low, what I thought gave you the best bang for your buck, that sort of thing. I was using push to talk, but it's just causing problems. I gotta find a better way to do that. Anyway, because the end key isn't doing it for me anymore. It's just causing problems. So I've gone through, like, there are a lot of games on sale, like a lot. You can see just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of games that are on sale. And so I went through this. I took the time to pick through this, and I hope pick what are like the best deals, and then like pretty good deals, and then the okay space deals. And I'll be putting this up on the website tomorrow as well. So there'll be a list of everything. But before we dive into that, have you guys gotten anything on the sale yet?
That's a negative.
All right.
Yeah, that's a negative.
Fair. Not the most exciting of sales.
Well, it's you know, it's a case of getting older. So like, what I mean by that is you know, when Steam was doing the huge sales back in the day, and like when Humble Bundle like first came out and you had all these bundle sites, man, I spent money left and right just throwing them. I was like, look at all these deals. I'm getting such a deal.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, but it was like, yeah, I'm getting a deal on stuff that I'm not even gonna like. I've got a Steam library that is ridiculously large, and I have probably not even touched 60 to 70% of it. And like that's saying a lot. It's not that there aren't games that I like that I don't want or something like that. It's just like the urgency to be like, well, I've learned my lesson from like the last however long I've had my Steam account, to understand that if they're on sale now, there's a chance they'll be on sale later. So like I've had my account for 14 years. I have a young cousin, by the way, who's like younger than 14.
Oh God, that must be weird.
And he's into video games, and he's like, how come your account has so many games? I was like, because my account is older than you. It's just like,
Because I'm an adult without children.
right? You know, so you know,
lifestyle.
Right?
Yeah, I ask people. I'm like, hey, you want to see my kids? And I open my Steam library.
I show them my cats. That's what I do.
Yeah, 1,700 games in my Steam library, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm actually embarrassed by that. Like,
don't be embarrassed.
That's a lot of games. So, but the only other contender about Steam sales is ever wondering, like, you know, there's that ever looming thing of like, yeah, but like, what if they stop selling this game?
Oh God,
They
right?
snatch it off the store.
Like,
It
what
could
if
be
it
gone
disappears and I
tomorrow.
can never get it again, and it's never on sale again? I have to
Right,
get
that's-
it
There
now.
are some games that get pulled because of licensing issues.
Right,
you know,
sure.
license
Right.
for something expired, like the music or something like that. They don't have the rights anymore, therefore they have to pull it. But that typically only happens with licensed games. So if it's not a licensed game, chances are it's going to stay up as long as the publisher and original developer have the rights. So,
You know, I decided, because there's some games that's like, I'll get it someday. There is a Slytherin title that was called Check 6, and it was a turn-based airplane dogfighting thing, right?
Yeah, it
And
came
I was
out like
just
a
like,
year ago or something. I
wow.
think.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, that's not at that price. I'll wait for it to go on sale. And then I looked on Steam because I was like, damn, I can't remember the name of that game. I know exactly what it is, but I cannot remember the name of that game. So I spent like 2.5 hours digging through Steam, right? Trying to figure out because, like mentally I can see the screenshots from it, right? So finally I figured out what the heck it was named from just Googling things. And I was like, yeah, that's it. Oh, it's Slytherin. Oh, it's not on Steam. What the heck? And I went to their site and it's like, oh, discontinued. And it's like,
What?
really?
It's
It was-
discontinued.
yeah. It was a done ass game. It wasn't early access. And then they're just like, we don't sell that anymore. And it's like, oh, well, shucks. You guys maybe missed me on that one.
Yeah.
It came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
What?
Like the devs were just like, yeah, we're not going to chase
Sometimes-
after this. I guess it didn't do enough in sales or something, and they weren't.
Sometimes that happens.
They didn't
with
want to drop the price.
Slytherin. Like Star Shatter. Remember that? Just up and disappeared from there.
Yeah.
From them one day. Like what? I love Slytherin. Don't get me wrong, but like sometimes stuff just disappears.
I mean, Star Shatter, the old strategy first.
No,
Like
no,
space-
the space sim that you started off as a
Yeah.
fighter pilot, and
Right, that one wasn't it strategy first?
no,
that had
it was
then-
no, it was Slytherin directly, and yeah, same with Alpha Protocol. Shogun says you can't buy that anymore, which is freaking retarded.
Oh,
Well, maybe the
Yeah.
Alpha
Yeah.
Protocol HD remaster.
Oh
is
God,
coming.
please, I'd buy it.
yeah, one of the things that also comes up is that
Music.
if it's not a licensing issue, it may be that the developers and publisher have split, and because of that, it causes issues with relicensing the title.
Oh yeah, because
keeping
like who gets paid when this gets bought?
Right. So a good example would be Galaxy on Fire 2. The devs of that were publishing it under Bit Composer. The publisher went under,
Oh,
and because they never put the DLC for the game on Steam, but it's on mobile, you can still buy the DLC on mobile, but you can't buy the DLC on Steam because it was never put there. And then with the agreement between Bit Composer and the devs being split up, it's never going to happen because no one's going to be the publisher of that.
Yeah.
So
that's a
yeah,
crime.
that's why for Galaxy on Fire 2 you
I'm still
can't get the DLC on Steam.
I'm still mad about that because I was really enjoying that game, and then just be like, "Oh, you're done." Like, wait, no, I'm not. I'm having fun. Too bad.
It's like to be continued, but
There's
you can't
no-
have it.
Well, to be continued if you own the game on mobile,
Yeah.
and then buy the DLC there.
It's
yeah,
like if you just
that
saw the
happened.
first. It's like if you just saw the first half of Best of Both Worlds when Riker says fire, and then never saw this, and then they took away the second episode. That's how it felt. to
Yeah.
me.
So
That is fair.
This reminds me of a current frothing stench that is going on, and I won't dwell on it. But Kerbal Space Program 2.
Mhm.
Did you hear what went down about? Because basically, it's like Take-Two did some shenanigans. I'm not.
Oh, didn't they try
don't
to
remember
hire people
specifically.
out from under the
They
company?
they totally did. So they pulled shenanigans, basically defunded the developer, right? So when the developer went under, then they send an email, "Hey, we'll hire all your people." because they had the rights to Kerbal Space 2 as the game, so they could just snatch it away from them and just be like, yeah, we're not going to do business with you anymore, but we'll hire all your people to continue working on the game. So, so, but yeah. So that's a title I won't be purchasing, but it's a thing too of like when a developer goes under, but the game is still for sale, then who gets paid for it?
I've
has always been a question.
I've wondered about
especially
that
if there's no publisher, right? But it's like, hey, they're out of business, whatever, but the game is still there. And it's like, well, somebody's getting a check.
Like Free Space 2, is Interplay still getting money from that? Is Volition still getting money from that? I don't know, to be perfectly honest. You know,
let's pretend they are.
Yeah,
nice.
I think it just depends on who is the current rights holder and what rights are being held.
Yeah,
which
probably
is a legal mess we probably shouldn't get into just because there's so much complexity.
How did we even get started on this topic? I don't
know. Well, okay, so it's like with Free Space games like that, right, and the LucasArts stuff and whatnot. So GOG has it. If you buy it from GOG, they get paid, but GOG didn't put it on Steam. So who gets the money if I buy it on Steam?
I don't know.
You know, yeah, it's such a weird. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these companies, like Interplay, exists as a filing cabinet somewhere in somebody's back
pretty
room.
much all. That's pretty much all Interplay exists as anymore.
Yeah,
is a filing cabinet, which is.
But anyway, it's on sale.
What's on sale? So Jim, have you bought anything on the sale?
I bought a few things. I picked up filled in some DLC gaps that I had. Yeah. Stuff like that, because it's like, yeah, that Warhammer DLC, $20. Nah, but hey, you know, if it's $7, now we could talk, right? So that kind of thing. Yeah. So let me pull up my list. So the things that are not to be missed, right? Brigador. Get Brigador. Right. If you don't have Brigador, just get Brigador.
Brigador is
you like robots?
Fantastic, people. I will agree with that.
So they patched that thing again at some point in the year and something. Well, since I played it like a year and something ago last, right? And I picked it back up. Strategy did a video review of Brigador, and it got me thinking about it again, right? And he said something in there about how, like, okay, they intended the controls to be like the tank controls, right? So, you know, D turns right, A turns left, no matter which way your mech's facing. And, you know, so that's the way they intended it. But they finally compromised, and they said, hey, you know, so many people in the community are asking us to just make it a twin stick shooter. So we did. And there's a thing that you can go in there and do, and it turns that into a pure twin stick shooter, which means that I actually can control the frickin' hover cars now. Because that's where I was stuck, was you get a rash of missions in a row that you have to take a hover car.
And
I couldn't pilot the damn things.
With those old, oh wow.
Right. And now it's like playing Smash TV. It's just like, I want to go that way and shoot this way. And the hovercraft are actually really fun now, because it's just like, it always faces the mouse cursor and it goes whichever way you push the keys. And yeah, so if you own it, revisit it, go in the control options and set the tank controls, because it totally changes that game.
And friends, it is at a historic low of $8.99, so it's a good time to buy.
It's worth double that in gold.
Oh, I agree, but always check for that historic low when you're.
And they've tripled the amount of game that's in it too from whenever it first released. It's crazy business. Anyway, so I picked that up, and let's see, Duskers is a must if you don't have that. I've had that forever, but I'm just looking down my list and it's like, oh yes, that. I grabbed the rest of the DLC for Tales of Majal, Tome, the roguelike, because I just didn't have that stuff. Although it's not really stuff that I bought it as a support gesture, because it's really not character classes that I'm ever going to play. But but Hypercharge Unboxed is amazing. It's finally out in 1.0. They're continuing to add content. It was Hunter and me and Dan played it last weekend, We put, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 hours into that. We got like,
Yeah. I mean, it's not a space game, but
That's fine. We could talk about other games too. I mean,
here's the deal. Take the childhood silliness of Toy Story and mix in the action of Toy Soldiers, because that movie was horrible. But
I never saw it.
Put those two together, and essentially that's what you're doing. So you're playing as like action figures.
it's Toy Story with rocket launchers.
It's highly customizable as well.
Dude, you could make yourself your own like He-Man or like G.I. Joe or like She-Ra or like
Yeah.
Does it have bots?
Well, yeah, it's Comp Stomp, dude. It's all Comp Stomp.
It's 4 players versus the AI, and you can play it pretty effectively with 3, maybe 2.
Well, Jim and I were doing it with 2
solo
for a while. Like you and I were doing 2 for a while, and we did all right. But if we were all to have it, this would be an amazing Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a nice merger of base building and tower defense along with the shooter action.
Yeah, and some hardcore parkour.
There is that too. Yes.
It's like there's a pack of baseball cards up there on the shelf. How in the F am I supposed to get up there?
Yeah. Or like the kid's bedroom like map that you play on. It's just like, how am I supposed to get on the lamp on the ceiling? Like the light fixture on the ceiling. How the hell do I get up there? And Jim was like, I think I got it. And he's like running along the edge of the door and like double jumping in the middle of the air, and he like lands on it perfectly because it's like a needle point like thing you have to step on, and just like it's a lot of fun. And the crazy thing too is like everything is like a it's like the mirror universe of like what we've got. And so like, you know, movie posters on the wall, you're like, that's clearly the Goonies, but it's called something else. Or that's clearly an Atari like 2600, but it's called something else.
Yeah, loads and loads of references all over the place.
Yeah, instead of Jurassic Park, it was like giant effing dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what yes. There's an attic map. I'm not gonna say what, but I stumbled upon an Easter egg in the attic.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
That destroyed me. I lost it. I was laughing so hard. I can't say it because I want you to experience it like we did.
It's hidden behind the couch.
That's all I'm gonna say. Go behind the couch in the attic, and you will experience
you'll hear it
something
you
glorious.
Mm-hmm. You'll hear it before you see it, and you'll know what it is.
Oh, it's amazing. So
yeah, everything's good, and it's like one of the levels is like being in the aisle of a Toys R Us, and the army
men a tutorial and level
and stuff are attacking.
Yeah, that's the tutorial. The tutorial has you in a toy store.
Oh, okay. Well, then they reuse it like in the middle of the game, and it's hard as shit.
It gets a lot harder.
It got ridiculous.
I mean, it's like the Green Army Man like plane. C-130 Green Army Man plane flies over, and they're like parachuting out of it, and you're just like, when is it gonna end?
Yeah, and when they start, okay, so you get all your defenses built, and then it just dumps like a buttload of Beyblade tops on you, and just smashes all your crap, and then the tanks come, and it's like, oh my god. So the worst / best was when we got to the backyard, which is like the last level in the game right now.
God.
That backyard was ridiculous. It was so stinking hard. We had toy planes bombing us. We had a giant T-Rex come.
Toy jets and helicopters and like, holy crap, it was insane. But then like they started doing like the Beyblades and the Army Men like in the grass, and you can't see them little pieces of crap. And you're just like, where am I getting hit from? You like, look at your shins. Look at your shins.
Oh,
it's just like,
okay, you got little army men like stabbing you in the knees. But then Oh, okay, you know those bouncy balls you used to get out of the machine. You know, you put a nickel in, and you get a rubber ball. It's like the like atomic bounce ball thing. They dump like a bucket full of those, and they hurt, and, and they're like coming for you.
Well, remember, you are toy sized, so
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. One of those hits you in the face, you're out.
You guys sold me. You guys
Yeah,
totally sold me. I will add it. When do you want to play it? Like this Thursday, next Thursday? I don't mind.
Any day,
Any day. Just name it.
doesn't even need to be a stream. Just be like
I'll-
hypercharged.
I'll-
and I'm there.
I'll play with you after the show.
All right. Well, I will.
I guess that's our 10 out of 10 for that one.
Yeah. No, that's well done.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately though, the lead character gets killed with a golf club, and I was kind of disappointed in the narrative. Oh wait, no, that was Last of Us.
dude, not cool.
Womp womp.
Hypercharged unboxed. All right.
Oh, so many people so wild about. I watched a lot of stream of that game, and it's honestly the Last of Us 2. And honestly,
We shouldn't be spoiling it.
Kind of. Okay.
It's a new
Anyway,
game.
there's a
We
lot of
shouldn't- we
outrage, but
shouldn't
I can
spoil
see
it.
it both ways. I can see it as a good story and a bad story, depending on your expectations.
Well, we'll say this: it is a beautiful game, and it's got a great. Mechanically, it plays well, and there's a lot of interesting like game mechanic surprises in it. So, I don't. I'm not gonna like dunk on it like a lot of people are dunking on it because of some of the story elements. But like when you look at from a pure development standpoint, that game is impressive.
Yeah. Well, the thing that brought it up is me just joking about, we just gave Hypercharge a perfect score, right? And then I was just thinking of like how the unanimous 10 out of 10s for that game. And having seen it, I'm like, that's a solid 8. But the idea that it would be universally 10 out of 10 that's like Star Wars Episode 9 that is still at an 86% review score a year later.
Still haven't watched
It's
it.
like, yeah, fake
Sure, I
reviews.
want to.
I'm so glad I don't have to put scores on things anymore.
Have you still not seen the last one?
Nope.
Dude, what you need to do? What you need to do is you need to grab Nicole.
Wait a minute. I've
Grab a
mentioned it to the
bottle.
wife. I'm like, let's watch it with a lot of alcohol. She is less than not interested. I don't know how negative interested she. I have asked her like.
Okay,
3
hold
times.
on.
And
So what? Just out of curiosity, what's her favorite type of beverage of an adult like range?
Oh, she loves a lot of things. Probably, I would say. Well, she loves wine,
Yee.
and she loves wine, but also stuff like old fashioned is one of her favorite drinks.
So here's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get the movie all queued up, and then you make like her favorite drink, and like do it when you know that maybe she's had like a really interesting day, and just be like, baby, I got a whole bunch of old fashions, or like this whole box of wine is for you.
You put
Let's
some
sit down
Barry
and-
White on, and then you just slip that Star Wars DVD in.
Well, it's on Disney Plus
She won't-
now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if we can watch Hamilton, we can watch.
Be like, surprise, mother. No, I'm just-
Motherfucker, we're watching Star Wars.
Yes.
Spaz, did you
well,
get anything in? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, well, I picked up Autonauts because it was cheap. Yeah, it's interesting. Have you seen Forager? It's like a base building collection kind of game thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's cartoony. Anyway, Autonauts is basically Forager with programmable robots. So you basically define an area and you tell a robot, like, you're a tree chopper. Here's an axe. Here's an area that you chop trees in. All right, other robot, you're a stump digger. So you follow the tree chopper and you dig up stumps. And then another robot, you're a tree planter. So you pick seeds up and you drop them in the holes that the digger makes.
Certainly
And
looks adorable.
then that's a production line that just continuously farms trees. but they're little wind up robots, so you got to run around and wind them up, kind of thing.
boy.
It's cute. Yeah,
It looks cute.
but it's one of those
adorable.
like you have to do a production line kind of thing to build bigger and bigger things, but it's not as insane as like Factorio. So logic puzzle thing. Yeah, I picked up a dungeon crawler thingy called Dredgers, which is kind of neat. It's a real time roguelike, so it's not turn based. But it's interesting.
Oh yeah.
I finally caved and picked up Noida. I think that's how you say it. It's roguelike side scrolling.
Yes, I'm very
explore
familiar with
hard as
Noisha,
ball.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah. Oh God. And
So great.
I had played around with it like early on, and I was like, yeah, I need to pick this up, right? And then whenever I get it, it's like, oh my God, they turned the difficulty up to like 12 on like one time. I've probably made like 30 runs. One time I got off the first level, and it's not for lack of being cautious. It got really bad, hard.
It's so good though. And when you die, you can't be mad because the deaths are so hilarious. Like, oh, I got burned to death. Oh, I fell off a thing. Oh, I got chopped up. Oh, I streamed it like a while back for like 3 or 4 hours and just had a blast. And it's still coming along. It's still being updated. That's good.
I just hope he doesn't make it harder. Like, he needs to put an easy button in there for old people. Because,
oh, it's crazy. But the way things just light. I love the fire in that game and how like the most unexpected things can suddenly be a flame. You're like, oh no, this is bad.
You shoot a dude, he's got a grenade in his hand, and he like blows up, catches half the level on fire, and you're dead too. Oh, and I got oil on my shoes. Oh no.
Oh
yeah,
no. I gotta find some water. Wait, that's not water, that's oil. Oh no.
And I've watched people stream it, right? And I don't know how they get this far along, because there is no like, oh, I died, I continue, right? It's you die, you're back at zero, as far as I know. So I've seen people like that are end game, and they've got wands that are just like nukes, right? I mean, he's got like maybe like 15 icons across the bar for his wand, and it's just like, how the hell did you get that, dude? No, I don't know how you did that. But then there's stuff, because it's it's Metroidvania-ish as well as a roguelike, because there's places that are just completely inaccessible until you get one of those mega wands, and then you go back, and then it's like, oh, I can just dig through solid rock now. I can, oh, hey, there's like a whole secret world over here that you wouldn't know. There's all kinds of stuff like that, and then he's like finding things, and then there's like some interaction, like, oh, I found this crystal, and if I carry it way back to the beginning, and then I drop it in this pool, then it transforms the whatever into something else, and and it's like, wow, really? So there's people that have hundreds of hours in that thing and know more about that game than I ever will, and I like watching them, and then I log into it myself, and it's just like, oh wow, I suck. It's a humbling simulator.
Apparently, Todd in the chat says you can add mods for respawn and stuff.
Oh, good.
But
I gotta look into that.
But the only achievements are for a vanilla build. Like, that's the only way you'll apparently get achievements.
Oh, I don't care about achievements. I just want to see the damn game.
Okay. Folks, yeah, I don't even know how to say it. Noida? I don't know how to say it. It's amazing. I streamed it a while back. Go look it up on the YouTube channel. It is disgustingly fun. That is a great time. So Spaz, did you get anything on the sale?
Let's see. I got a couple. Earth Defense Force 5, because yes. we are going to stream that, and we got it now. So oh yeah.
I had to do a few more missions, but yes, we are definitely streaming that.
Yeah, I also got a little game called Catastronauts.
Yes, we're streaming that in a little while.
We will be streaming that as well. Yes.
Is that like like a multiplayer cooperative cook serve delicious
It's
kind of.
it's in that very same vein. It's local play, but since they've got the remote play together feature, it's touted as working very well with that. So we're going to find out how good it is.
That's actually interesting.
It's 75% off, by the way. So grab it for $4.
What's interesting is the cool thing I like about what Valve has been doing with Steam lately is that they've been identifying games that they have said that are compatible with that feature. So like people don't have to be like, I wonder if this will work. Like they actually have, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a list of games.
Well, it's on the store page too. That in the features, like if it has online play or whatever, or single player or local play, and then there's another category that's on that page for remote play together.
Yeah.
So you can see it per store page.
Yeah, which is really cool. Which I really like that they're doing that. That people who are developing games can note that, or like Steam can note that, or whatever.
I've added.
Yeah, it's probably done on the developer end.
I've added Hypercharged Unboxed, by the way, to the calendar.
Yeah, excellent.
And I've added
So much fun.
EDF5. Yeah, EDF5. I've done 2 missions so far of that, and it's great. Wing Diver seems even better than the last game. Yeah,
We're going to get you someplace safe. Every place they take you is progressively worse than the last.
So real quick, side tangent. This is kind of some like behind the scenes Space Game Junkie stuff. Right before the show, I don't remember how we got onto the topic of it, but we were talking about the old Mad Max movies, and one thing came up from the Mad Max movies of trying to identify this character that happens to be both in Beyond Thunderdome and The Road Warrior, so the last 2 films of that trilogy. And the actor's name is Bruce Spence. He's a very much that guy. When you see him in like whatever he's in, you're like, oh hey, that guy. So in The Road Warrior, he played the character called the Gyro Captain. And then
that guy.
Right.
Oh
Exactly.
my god, it is that guy. Seriously. Oh my god.
And then he plays a guy in the third one called Jedediah, who also happens to be a captain. However, for a long time, fans were wondering if this was the same character because he's listed as 2 different entries for these movies. And the guy, George Miller, came out and said that it is in fact 2 different characters that he's playing, which is weird because at the end of The Road Warrior, he runs off with the band of the gasoline people who were just trying to save the gas with the little feral kid. And then like in Beyond Thunderdome, he's got like a little kid with him who flies the plane. And everybody's like, oh hey, it's that guy. And you're like, no, it's awkwardly not.
You guys been in
It's a not that guy.
It's a not that guy. Yeah.
You guys been in a bit of everything.
Yeah,
Farscape,
he's been a lot.
Over the Rings.
So he was in Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. He was also the mouth of Sauron in Return of the King. If you watch the extended edition, that's the only time you'll see it.
That was him.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Well, I didn't know that until I looked at this. He was in the Matrix movies, or at least 2 of them.
How did he get his mouth to do that thing?
Amazing.
Magic.
Anyway, sorry, way
fine.
tangent, but I wanted to clear these tabs off. I've been like holding them on here. I'm just like, I don't want to keep these tabs on.
That's fine. What else did you get? Bruce Spence Extended Universe.
What was that?
Someone in Twitch just said the Bruce Spence Extended Universe.
It's true. It's true.
That reminds me of an article I saw. It's like the Hamilton Extended Universe, and they're gonna do a movie about Ben Franklin. Backed me up. Baz, what else did you get?
I'd also picked up Gunfire Reborn,
Which
because I know people on the Discord had been talking about that.
I guess
So I snagged it.
Does that have co-op
And
in it? I have it too, but I don't know if you
definitely
can
has co-op.
multiplayer.
That's
Oh,
one
neat.
of the reasons to get it. Apparently, it's got 4-player co-op. It's
Alrighty.
it's very
and
much like.
I also
Good.
picked up the DLC for or some of the DLC for Warhammer Martyr.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that you picked that up. We're gonna be playing that on
Yeah.
Thursday. That's
Right. That's the other reason I picked that up is because
Oh,
well, yeah,
what all
stuff on the
DLC is
list.
there for that? Because I got the expand alone, but that was
there's 2 different types of TLC for Inquisitor. There's basically stuff that adds priority investigations, which are little like mini campaigns, kind of choose your own adventure, little mini campaigns. And then there's cosmetic stuff like fire steps and the little guys that follow you around. So there are 2 different types. There are basically 2 different types of DLC. There's content DLC and then there's cosmetic DLC.
oh damn.
And
So it's $27 for the full DLC WAD.
Though it's only about 15 if you just put the DLC in altogether.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's like includes the game. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's if you're buying the game with everything. But if you already have the game, then just get the DLC that you want.
Okay. And what's weird, like if you go to the prophecy page, then it doesn't list the DLC individually because that's only for Inquisitor Martyr, not
Yeah.
Inquisitor Prophecy, because Prophecy is considered a DLC, even though it's standalone.
It's standalone. Yeah, I know, which is why they have it on a separate page.
And I don't fully understand why they did it that way.
So the way it works is because Prophecy is standalone, you can buy that without having Martyr. But if you get Martyr and then you buy Prophecy, it's treated as a DLC for Martyr.
Yeah, that's how I played it, as like just a continuation of the campaign. Like, oh, all of a sudden I'm in Prophecy. All right.
Hey, since we're speaking about Warhammer stuff, I did not realize that games actually came and went with any kind of frequency on the Microsoft Game Pass. But Battlefleet Gothic Armada, the first one, like they pulled it off. I was like, oh, I thought things went there to stay, but
no, stuff comes and goes like Netflix on that thing.
So what sucks though about how both of those games were implemented on there is there's no multiplayer.
What?
And I was like, what?
Come on.
Yeah, because Hunter and I were gonna play, and then we found out, oh damn, there's no multiplayer.
That might be on sale right now. Hang on. Don't know. That's at an historic low. Let me take a look. Nope, it's been cheaper. Not at an historic
$11.99.
Worth $11.99, or if you want to get the complete edition with the Chaos campaign, it's definitely worth it. Been a little bit cheaper. No. Shogun, he was saying on Microsoft Game Pass, Battlefleets had no multiplayer. But if you get them on Steam, they absolutely have multiplayer. These are definitely great games if you like Warhammer or spaceships. Or both. Definitely good. So let's talk about what I found. First, folks, I want to tell you how I find things. There are several tools that are, if you're looking for deals, essential to finding deals. The first is there any deal? If you haven't signed up for this and imported your Steam wish list, do that today. These are all free sites. And this will email you if a game you want on your wish list has gone on sale. You can also go here and filter like, is it at an historical low on my wish list? And then you'll find like only the stuff that's at its lowest price ever. Steam Database is another great place to find sales, and they also have a very good browser extension that you should install, along with Augmented Steam. If you haven't installed that yet, you need to install that, because that will tell you, like, you'll just go to a Steam page and it'll tell you what's at an historical low and whatnot. It's so useful. So goddamn useful. And the other site is gg.deals, which is another very good site that also emails you when stuff is at an historic low or when stuff is on sale. So having these things in your pocket will definitely help you find the best deals. And so like I said, I was scouring our curator page, which has a lot of games on it, and I found what I thought were probably the best space game deals of the sale. Now, we're talking about non-space games for a minute. I just want to plug my game of 2020, Bloody Rally Show, is at an historic low of $10.49. You all should buy it. I'm just going to say that right now. Love this game so much. So I think here's some of the best space game deals of the sale. For example, Adios Amigos is $2.99, which is a disgusting deal. Like, for the amount of fun that game is. And that game also works great on, what is it, Remote Play, the Steam thing? Is that
Remote Play Together.
Yeah, Remote Play Together. This works great on Remote Play Together. It's also great because it's got like a newbie mode where you only need like one button. If you have someone, like, because we played this with my wife and she's not a gamer, so we put her on newbie mode and all you need is like one button to do just about everything. It's amazing. And this game, if you haven't played this, we've had these guys in the podcast. I've streamed it before. This game is amazing. Really amazing. And for $3, that is, it's never been that low. Well, no, it has been that low, but that is probably some of the best $3 you can spend on Steam right now. Adios Amigos. Holy crap. Then probably the next best deal, I would say, is Children of a Dead Earth. That is on sale for $2.49. That also is a disgusting amount of content for $2.49. Because this is like Kerbal Space Program if it was a space war simulation. So this game is amazing. It's hard as hell, but it is so good. And for $2.49, it is like a horrendously good deal. Another really great deal, if you guys haven't played it, is Star Crawlers. That is a first-person dungeon crawler, but the dungeons are spaceships. And they're all randomly generated, and right now it is $1.99. That is insane.
Yeah, that game is straight up like Wizardry 7 in space.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. It is a tile, like one of those first-person tile like movers, where you move a tile.
Like Eye the Beholder.
Yes, Eye the Beholder, the classic Might and Magic games, those games. It's just like those, but it's on a spaceship with randomly generated loot and levels and progression and different characters. It's great, and again, $1.99 or $2.49 if you want the soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack.
Oh yeah, it's by Ben Prunty, so good soundtrack.
Would you say Eye of the Beholder is a beautiful game?
It was at the time. Back in the day, it was mind-blowingly pretty.
So it's got beauty in it.
Yeah, another great deal. For $4, you can get the amazingly quick-playing 4X Space Tyrant, which was criminally undersold. It did not sell very well, which is a crime because this game is so good.
Oh, so that's back to my question at the top of the show.
Yeah.
When the developer's out of business, who gets the money when you buy that?
I don't know. That's a good question. For example, let's look at Star Ruler 2. That's still on sale, right? Yes, it is. It's not on sale though. Well, that's a shame. Star Roller 2 is an amazing 4X with some of the best diplomacy that you'll ever see in a Space 4X game. But the developer doesn't exist anymore. So that's a crime. It's not on sale though right now, which is also a crime. But yeah, I don't know. The Blue Wizard Digital, they're not around anymore. They go belly up.
Yeah, right after that game, they were going to work on another one, but apparently, I don't know, change names or something.
Real damn shame because Space Tyrant is so good, you guys. It is so good. Does the website still work? Oh, it does not. That's a shame.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, you could describe it as a coffee break 4X.
Yeah, it's got a lot of depth to it. A lot of events. Really, like, the combat is quick but detailed. Yeah, this game is great, and no one bought it, and so that's why it hasn't been updated since. It's a very complete game. If you're gonna spend the $4 on it, know that it's not buggy. But yeah, they don't exist. That's a good question, Jim, because I don't know who would get the money
Yeah.
if they don't exist
So
anymore.
just looking at the front page of the store, is Outer Wilds on your list?
Um,
That's 33% off, so it's $16. It's one of the best space
Historic
games
low.
last year.
that isn't a historic low. Yeah, I think I might have it on the Epic Store. Actually, I don't think I've played it much, but okay, that's a good.
It deserves your time. It's a cool
Okay.
puzzle game with a neat mechanic.
All right, I'm adding that.
It's like low tech space simulator. Has kind of a Kerbal feel to it. If Kerbal was like a first person, it's different. Generation Zero is half off right now, $12.
I adore that game. I really do.
Oh yeah,
We have streamed it. We have streamed it,
It's
and it
balls
just
hard.
got it just got a DLC update in the last month or so.
Like an update to the DLC or yet another DLC?
No, another
DLC.
DLC, which
Oh, that's
adds
right, it
a new area.
Wow, weird.
Oh, Phoenix.
Phoenix,
Rising, I
yeah,
guess.
Phoenix Rising, yeah.
Add that to my wish list. Sadly, it's not as historic low. It's $12.49, but it's been $9.99. So
What I need this game to let me do is take pieces of robots that I've killed and put them together
on
and then
yourself?
ride around in it.
You
like a chariot.
actually
what?
no. You can't put them together that way, but there is a suit of armor you can make
Oh, you can
when
make
you
like
defeated
an
enough
exosuit?
of them.
What?
Well, it's cosmetic, but yes.
Oh, it's not like powered armor that you can.
No.
slide around.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
it's
sad.
it's cosmetic, but it's there.
Oh.
It's an option.
I mean, that's cool that it's an option, but I wanted what I really want is the exosuit from the Transformers movie. That's what I want. The one that the kid had. You know, that's what I want more than anything. Give me a game with that in it. God. Where were we? Oh yeah. The game we're going to play tomorrow on the stream, Heat Signature, is at its historic low of $4.94. And that's another disgusting deal for the amount of content in that game. Spaz, how many hours do you have in that game?
In Heat
What'd you say?
Signature,
Yeah,
let me check.
you have a lot. I know you have a lot. I only have 6.
Yeah,
I feel
50 hours.
Whew,
I'm at 50.
damn. Yeah, that's for $5, 50 hours of really astounding. Like, there really is no game like Heat Signature. There really isn't, and that is just a really amazing deal. For
If
a
Heat
game.
Signature and 3030 Death War could just have a baby, that would be the game.
I might never play anything else. Holy crap! Can you imagine if Heat Signature was the you know how when you go on the Rex in 3030 Death War, can you imagine if that was Heat Signature?
Yeah,
you know?
that's the boarding simulation side.
Yeah. Oh.
That would be a thing.
Maybe that'll be
That
the
would
next
be very
thing.
much a thing.
Oh my god. Maybe that'll be the next game, the 3030 Death War game. Let's see what's
If they
next
would
on
just
my
make a
list.
3030 MMO, I would be pretty hot on that.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd play that. Just give it the same map, same universe, everything, just make it an MMO. I'd be there every day.
Yeah, we could rename the podcast at that point to 3030 Junk.
3030 Death War Junkie. Yeah. So, folks, the next game I wanted to mention on my list is Scavenger SV4, a game I will never play again because it is
Boom.
absolutely terrifying. But
Womp womp.
but it is an amazing roguelike game thing that for $6 you get just really one of the most tense and interesting like space game experiences you can get. Basically, like you're on a ship and you have to scour the surface for something. Like every run is different. You're looking for research or you're trying to clear your name. Every run is different as to why you're scouring this planet. And you're not alone on this planet. And the thing is, you can bring things back up from the surface that will kill you on the ship.
So you're not always alone on your ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You're not
and not
always
just
alone.
that, you got radiation to deal with too.
That too.
The longer you stay there, the more radiation accumulates, and it will
Yeah.
eventually kill you.
Yeah. So do you
Exactly.
find it to be a scarier game because, like, when you have the little probe down on the planet, it's like the picture is really fuzzy and you
Yeah,
can't really
that's-
see what the heck
that's
is
scary
going on.
That's scary as heck. Yeah. Yeah, that is scary as heck. And then the worst, I don't know if you saw my video, but the worst was apparently something grabbed onto the probe when it came back. And next thing I know, I just hear this knocking in the ship. Just knocking. And it's absolutely terrifying. And then next thing I know, something jumps up on a window and I just quit
Wow.
immediately.
You
I
know,
was so
that's a vibe that I got from this game was so there was Rescue on Fractalis, which is an old
Mhm.
LucasArts game,
right.
and then there was the other game that was companion to that, which was Coronis Rift.
Okay.
And this game is like a fusion of those two,
Oh, really?
kind of. Yeah. Because Coronis Rift, you were the probe driving around and you had to like shoot saucers that were trying to kill you while you went around on this fractal landscape, right? And then in the other one, you were actually landing to pick up down spacemen, right?
And sometimes there would be an alien.
Yeah,
that would
every
pop
now
up
and
instead.
then it wasn't a spaceman. It would like jump up on the
Oh.
windshield and bang on the, and
Oh,
you had to like
God.
hit the button to fry it. Yeah,
Oh, God.
scared
Yup.
the shit out of me the first
It just
time
wants
that happened.
hugs. That's all.
It's like they don't tell you that that's going to happen, and there was
Just
no
want
internet
hugs.
back in like 1985, right? So it's like you have no idea that's going to happen.
I've
The
never
original
pla-
"Bring Me My Brown Pants."
Yes,
I've never
Yeah,
played,
yeah.
I've never played either of those games. Maybe I should never. Sounds like I should never play
You should
them.
probably avoid it.
Yeah,
I would say
there was
avoid,
actually
yeah.
a cool fan remake of Fractalis that I saw.
Oh, really?
It was really well done. Yeah, let me dig.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, the next game I wanted to mention, folks, is Galactic Dominion. It is a very graphically light but deep 4X that has both a story mode and a random mode, and it just had a huge update, like a major 2-point update with like a UI overhaul, a ship designer, all sorts of things, and it's only $1.24. And it's really surprisingly good for a single player. It's one of those games that like the turns are quick, but you have interesting decisions to make just about every turn. And yeah, there's both a campaign mode for if you want a story, which a lot of 4X games do not have, and also a free mode, which is the more traditional 4X. It's surprisingly good. I really liked it, and for $1.24, it is like it was 90%, 70%, 5% off. For $1.24, it's a really, really great, really great little 4X that I can't help but heartily recommend if you like Space 4X games. It's a really good little one that I really enjoyed my time with. Let's see. Do we still have our Void Expanse server up? I haven't played in a couple
I
of
checked.
weeks.
Yes, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't touched it in a couple weeks either. But last I checked, it's still up.
Well, right now that game, which is a very good space action RPG,
Very good.
Very.
I usually
good.
don't. I usually don't do the top-down type style like games. And Void Expanse and 3030 Death War are like my only exceptions to that rule.
Those are very good exceptions. It is,
And maybe Drox.
it is $3.
Drox a little bit too. Yeah.
It is $3 right now, which is, again, I mean, you can play on multiplayer servers with this thing, but you can also play randomly single player, like random generated universe. And it's got a lot of ships, a lot of toys. It's got funny writing. It's got good combat. Lots of fun stuff. It's got mining, it's got exploring, it's got all kinds of missions. Mike found the Fractalis thing you were talking about, Jim. Posted.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, you put it in the chat also? Probably the same.
Mm-hmm. I put it in Quarks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the stream chat too.
Same thing. Yep.
Quarks is fun. Don't walk, run.
I will come to Quarks, and believe me, I will have fun. Yeah, Void Expanse is for $3, an excellent deal. Excellent. I got a couple more here that are really I think some of the best deals of the sale.
I personally, I want to do a shout out to one.
Sure, of
is
course,
that
of course.
Is if you want to look for a game, it's still in early access. The developers have been working hard on it, and they just dropped a major update, and we just played it not too long ago on a Thursday night stream, and that is Empyrean Galactic Survival. It is darn near its closest all-time historic low by only like
$1 something.
What, 7 cents? Because the historic low is historic low is $7.94, but it's currently on sale for $7.99.
Oh, I see the historic low is $6.37.
Interesting. We have two different things. But
anyway,
regardless, $8.
It's worth $7.99.
Empyrean Galactic Survival. Personally, I think that is it's a stupid steal. I've got a test server running right now that I'm doing some things for the Space Game Junkie. If anybody's interested in trying it out, let me know. I love this thing. I love what they're doing with it. I love the direction the developer's going with it, and this latest content update is just incredibly massive. So,
yeah, it's probably in terms of this subgenre. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say in terms of like, you know, a lot of the big name games that we've seen lately, the only other game that I can think of that has done massive content shift updates like this in like a space game probably would be like No Man's Sky in a way. But like even then, like you look at something like Elite Dangerous. When Elite dropped, they've added some things to it, but nothing so crazy drastic, right? Like this latest content update that these guys put out for Empyrean is just shockingly huge. Like the level of like integration and the massive star system that you can go explore. Like you can spend so much time on a planet just trying to, you know, figure things out, building a base, building ships and stuff like that. And then there's just a whole swath of aliens and other planets and moons to go and explore space stations. Brian's playing a video over me.
Yeah, honestly, I wish that Starship Evo would come up to where Empyrean is right now.
I think it will in a couple of years. I think it will in a couple of years.
Yeah, because it ain't ready yet. I mean, it's cool for EA, very, very early.
I don't know, like looking at Starship Evo just doesn't do it for me.
Well, there's not much to do right now, but the building is really neat. What I loved about Starship Evo is how easy it is to break stuff. Like you
deleted the floor in the tutorial just like I did. Oh my god,
I did. I deleted the floor. You right click to delete things. Oh look, the floor is gone. I didn't know you could do that, but once I realized you could do that, I just laughed and laughed because I thought that's great that they let me mess up that badly. That is great. They're probably a couple years behind. I would say they're probably 2 years to a point where Empyrean is now. That's my guess. I think it's just one guy working on it. Maybe.
Well, I mean, for Starship Evo's credit, it definitely is pretty.
Oh, God.
And it definitely
is so pretty.
Yeah, and it's definitely doing some really interesting things. But for God, I don't know. It's kind of like the Space Engineers thing. Like Space Engineers was going places, and then it like went backwards. It like had to go home and turn off the oven or something.
We had the developer of this on the podcast a while ago, and he seemed like in it for the long haul, which I'm hopeful about. So
That's good. I mean, I think this is an interesting genre for sci-fi games because I mean it's something that Star Citizen is quote unquote doing, but like has not yet delivered on. We don't have nearly anything remotely similar to this in say any of the other popular games out there like Elite. Sure, you'll be able to get out of your ship here pretty soon, but even then, I mean, we do have what's the name of the one that we like to play a lot? That's the co-op ship stuff.
Pulsar.
We do have Pulsar, and Pulsar is pretty cool, but again, you're not building anything. That's just a lot of flying around on spaceships and exploring. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying like the level of depth. I feel like so many games have come to try to do what these games like Space Engineers and Empyrean and Evo are all doing. And I feel like the only one so far that has actually done anything of substantial amount of weight, and I've played a lot of them, has been Empyrean, and it's still only in early access when technically Space Engineers is a fully delivered game.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah,
Engineers is great, but like the content there is reliant upon the community to build mods and custom scripted servers and all this other stuff, and that like to me that's not fun.
Right.
It's just like it's like a sandbox, so it's just like I guess I could go into like a Unity engine and make a game and do the same kind of thing.
Right. So
I don't
I was
know.
just gonna say, out of that particular subgenre of the building survival base game, I think you're right that Empyrean is probably the best of them.
For now, I mean that could change. I
That
do
could
think
change.
there's I mean Astroneer's pretty good too. Astroneer's a little different in how it approaches it.
Mhm.
Even though it's got a lot of the same concepts. So that's why it's kind of hard to it's hard to compare it because I kind of look at like if you were to compare all of these things as fruit, like I'd say Empyrean and Astroneer are apples, but they're two different types of apples.
That's totally fair.
It's like
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, with
Yeah.
Astroneer, there's no combat. That's another thing to keep in mind. Is
Right.
there is zero combat. It's you against the environment, and there are a lot of things that can kill you, but you're not going out there with the express purpose of seeking combat because you won't find it.
There's base building in No Man's Sky, but we've had that discussion to death about really the only profitable thing to do in that game is just to turn on creative mode because that's when I'll have fun. That's not to say that there's not other things that other people can't have fun with the other modes. For me, there's I don't feel like there's really a strong point to the other stuff. It feels like a death roll of just.
Sorry, I should mention Astroneer is also on sale. It's not its historic low, but the last time it was at that historic low, it was still in early access, and the price increased since then. It's 35% off, and for $19.49, it is a great deal. To be honest, 35% off. Yeah, if you haven't already played it. If you like base building, they just added automation to the game where you can actually build chains of, okay, this thing is going to mine stuff. It puts it on this storage unit. This robotic arm is going to move it from this storage unit into the smelter. From the smelter, it's going to be moved into another storage unit. And you can have these chains going through your base. It's great.
Well, I put it on the calendar as well because got that so we can do some co-op with it. So that'll be fun.
I have over 188 hours, so in Astroneer, yeah.
Sorry.
I've played it a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just say I've played it a lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, going back to space games, there are only two more I wanted to mention. There are others that I'm going to be putting up on the blog, spacegamejunkie.com, but these are, I think, the best of the best deals on Steam.
Where was that again, Brian? Where was that again?
Spacegamejunkie.com.
Nice.
Unending Galaxy is like, I don't know why it has mixed reviews. It is kind of unwieldy. But imagine someone took an X game and made it 2D. That's basically what this is. A modder of the X games really loved a lot of the X games, but like wanted it in a top-down 2D format. So that's what Unending Galaxy is, and it's pretty amazing because you can be either a simple trader or a sprawling galactic empire, and it's $1.79, which for the amount of content in that game is absolutely astounding. Like that's one of, I think, the best space game deals you can get right now is $1.79 for Unending Galaxy. That's crazy. That is utterly, utterly crazy. And the final game I was going to mention is one of my favorites, Interstellar Rogue. It's not as big a deal. It's not as much off as some other games. It's only 50% off, so it's $5. But for $5, you get what is really an astoundingly huge spaceship roguelike with all kinds of spaceships and guns and turrets and there's planetary combat and there's all kinds of perks and all kinds of like there's loot crates in the game which are hilarious. And like if you want to heal, like like to heal in this game, if you find like a teddy bear, you pet the teddy bear and that's how you heal. For example, it's a very silly, fun game that I absolutely love. I've streamed a bunch of it.
What game is this?
Interstellar Rogue.
Oh, okay.
Came out last year.
It's made by one person, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, made by one guy. Great guy. And it's a really fascinating roguelike that's got just so much to it. You can have all kinds of ships with all kinds of loadouts, from the pitiless little machine gun to rockets to ion cannons, all kinds of things. And then you can get better guns for your little astronauts, so when they land on a planet, you can shoot up giant robots and take their loot. And then, yeah, you can find everything from a cup of coffee to a new engine to a new bit of radar. And yeah, it's
lots of meta unlocks too.
Lots of meta unlocks. Unlock new ships, new perks, new weapons, all sorts of things. There's lots of progression going on. I think for $5 it's a steal. So that's the last space game I was going to mention today. Were there any other like non-space games you guys thought of that you think might be a good deal for folks to check out on the Steam sale?
There is one I was going to mention.
Go for it.
It is a space game.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of biased when I mention it only because I wrote the guide for the game, but it's Genesis Alpha 1.
Right. I did add
60% off, currently $12.
Yeah, I did add that to my list. It is at its historic low. I don't know why it's saying 0 there. That's ridiculous. It was never free. But it is currently at its basically historic low of $11.99. That is, if it doesn't creep you out like it creeped me out, a great deal, because it's a huge game, great roguelike, with shipbuilding and planetary landings and alien fights and lots of progression and building and scavenging going on. It's a great game that I will never play again because it creeps me out like nothing. But if you wanted like an Aliens type experience where you build your own ship or you don't build it, you start with like a basic ship, but you can upgrade it and build and add to it.
Oh, you do build it. I mean, you build it where the modules go. You set up their layout and.
Well, right, but I'm saying you don't build it from scratch, right? You start with like the basic ship, and then you can build from there, right? Am I remembering correctly?
Well, no. That's the tutorial. After the tutorial, you have a bridge that you start with, depending on your corporation, and then you build out from there. So you do actually have full customization once you have left the tutorial. But of course, you ended up noping out in the tutorial, and I completely understand why. That's totally understandable. But in terms of anyone who is, in terms of anyone who's watching this or listening and wants any advice or help with the game, I've got a guide for that on Steam. I am the game's wiki, literally. So yeah, you can ping me about that.
Sorry,
So
I
you-
couldn't help myself.
No, that's totally fine. So that's those are like some of the best deals you can probably find on the sale right now. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, what?
I was gonna say I don't know if these are necessarily the best deals, but they are on
Mhm.
sale right now, and I can't help but recommend them. And that's Doom Eternal, and which is 50% off at the moment. And then the Halo Master Chief Collection is currently 25 or 20% off, which is kind of a crazy steal because you get like all Halo in that. So I mean, currently on the PC version, they have released Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2. I think they just released ODST, but I know that ODST 3 and 4 are in the pipeline. Like I think 3 either drops sometime this week or next week. And you buy it once and you get all those games when they finally release them on PC. So I think it's kind of a steal. And I'm also a little biased because I've got a huge love for Halo.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I
I mean,
have it through
it's
Game
hey, oh
Pass
yeah,
thing.
if you have the Game Pass, you have it. But when you think about $31.99 and you essentially get what was it, like
6
5 games out of
games?
that?
6 basically,
Uh,
I think.
yeah, it was well, it's 1, 2, and 3, Reach, ODST, and 4. So yeah, you get 6 games full, and they're full length games.
Yeah, they're
Plus
huge
all the
games.
co-op options and the multiplayer. And they announced too that they're actually going to be starting to do skins. Like so they'll be for the PC version, you'll be able to actually do skins for like the warthogs and stuff like that and do your own. Not that people really care. I mean, it's cosmetic shit. And it doesn't really like add to the game mechanics per se. But the fact that they're adding in way more customization on the PC versions of things is actually pretty cool. So
Very cool.
I think it's props to the guys for doing that. So
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
There's another one worth mentioning.
okay.
It's 51% off. We've streamed it multiple times, had fun with it every single time. It's Streets of Rogue.
sorry,
Oh.
60% of the time it works every time.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, 51% off, $9.79 US. You cannot go wrong with Streets of Rogue. There's so
really
many
can't.
ways to complete
You
the
really
missions
can't.
that they give you. Lots of characters to unlock. There is a character pack as well with 6 new characters. Yeah, loads of fun.
I think it's 6 new characters. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The mech pilot.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's great.
and you can make
Bouncer.
custom characters too.
Yeah. No, we streamed it a few weeks ago and it was a blast. This game, folks, Streets of Rogue is like, what if they made Deus Ex into a top-down roguelike? Basically is what this is. And it's really, really great. Yeah, that is for about $10. That's really a steal. Like, it's been cheaper, but like once on chrono.gg, so like that's really it. So like, yeah, it's probably the cheapest you're gonna get it unless it goes on chrono.gg again. Which it might. I don't know. Feel like waiting.
Well, I think the lowest price it's been is about $9. Besides that, so
Besides that, wait, I can think I can look. I can look. Oh, yeah.
collector's edition was $9 on Steam.
Ooh. Yeah, it's the cheapest it's been is pretty much around 9 something. Besides that, yeah, definitely worth that money. Definitely
Yeah,
worth.
it's
$9.79.
overwhelmingly positive with good reason. I mean, I've spent over 81 hours in it, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Any other shout outs people y'all want to throw in there before we go?
EDF.
Well, EDF5 is 50% off.
It is
I was just shouting out.
Well, there's that too.
I wonder what I'll get for dinner tonight. Or whatever the random shouts they say as you're running around.
Yeah. So I was just looking down our curator page here, Right?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that's on discount here.
Yeah.
So
Quite a
like
bit.
Project Starship X, never seen that.
Oh yeah, that's a more recent one, I think, right?
Mhm.
Isn't that a more recent one?
Now,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so Deep Rock Galactic is 25% off, and
Yeah, that
it's a
is
crime if you don't own it.
Yeah, Deep Rock Galactic is at its historic low, and if you don't own that one, you don't need to play with other people with that one if you don't want to.
Hey, here's something weird that just happened.
Uh-huh.
Somebody just posted in our Discord in the games and news updates about an update to Angels Fall First that just came out like minutes ago.
So
the game's also 40% off. Angels Fall First. It's not a bad game. I'm shocked that they've put out an update because there's not a lot of people that play it. Although you can play it with bots,
and the bots are great.
it is fun.
Yeah, they've never stopped, man. They're steady banging away at that thing.
Apparently
So-
now commanders can have shields and scan areas, and they've improved the ship combat. Shoot through enemies.
Weapon rebalance, map polish.
Huge patch. Huge. Oh, maybe we should put that back on the
Interesting.
calendar. It's been a while.
That's a
Maybe
huge
it's-
change log. Holy moly.
No.
Yeah, Hunter and
Wow.
I and a buddy of mine got down in that. What was it, like 2 weeks ago or so? We were,
I don't know. It could have been a year ago. I don't know.
it was less than a month. It was a good time.
It
Yeah,
was, and this changelog update's good. This is not a bad game. It's just sad that there's not a lot of community behind it. But if anybody wants to play, we'll happily play with folks.
Well,
I would.
I think they've stated while they're in early access, they're not really advertising because they don't feel they're done. But they feel like
That's totally fair.
But they've
That's
said
fair.
that once they hit 1.0, they're really going to do a much bigger marketing push. But yeah, we've streamed Angels Fall First before. We've played it. It's an excellent combined arms, Unreal style game with lots of variety, amazing bots, which I always love. I love good bots, and this patch is massive. That's kind of what they do though. Like they'll be quiet for a while, then just drop a nuclear bomb of a patch out. Oh my god.
I still can't get over the ridiculous patch that was for Empyrean. Like I know I've been gushing over it, but
No,
like,
I know. And
like,
they
go-
just call
go-
it. They just call it Alpha 12. It's like, just Alpha 12. Like,
yeah.
no,
I mean,
added a
if you guys
galaxy
are curious,
map. You added a
like-
galaxy map, you guys.
well, they had one before that had like you could go to like 3 systems, like
Oh.
in version 11.5. But in like 12, they added in like 20 systems, and it's just insane. But
Lord.
if you guys are really curious why I'm gushing over this, like just go look at the Alpha 12 like update for Empyrean and just read it. Come back to me when
Pack
you're
a lunch.
done. Yeah, I was about to say, there's a lot to unpack. I mean, there's guys that have done like hours and hours long videos on just all of the new content that just got dropped in Alpha 12. So, like what changed, what was added, the faction stuff alone is shocking to me because you can actually get faction standing with NPCs, and then like you get to go and like use their tech, and then you can unlock their tech and like build with their technology. It's nutty. It's really nutty.
Sit down for a little light reading. War and Peace light reading.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we love to gush over game manuals. Sometimes these like patch update lists are fun to read too. This Angels Fall First one, I'm gonna have to like go through this because this is a long update list as well.
Huge update list, yeah. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I like scouring like patch notes on games like every day. It's like Christmas. What did we get?
This update line here is really hysterical. It says bots displaced from driving by a player taking the wheel. So like if a bot takes a vehicle and then you take the vehicle from the bot will get displaced. And so it says here bots displaced from driving will now respawn when necessary rather than hang around doing nothing. He took my car, and then he just like stands there. He's like, well, I guess I don't have
This
a
is my
car
life now.
Right?
My life now.
That's honestly pretty great.
So now they don't do that.
Oh my god, yeah, this is a huge. Thank God. There's at least 300 items here. Dear God. So yeah, Angels Fall First, folks. That's another one to look out for. It is what is it? 1079. Oh, that's a great
40% off,
price.
yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
price for that game because it's got a lot of maps. There's both ground and space combat, and the space combat is actually fun. You get to like fly into enemy ships and get out and try and take them over and stuff. It's really great. So yeah, once we start having guests again, we should have them back on. Maybe
Be
someday
cool.
someday we'll have guests back on. I think that'll do it for today. What do you guys think? I think that'll do it.
Yeah, fulfilled.
Yeah. So, folks, those are like some of the best deals we found. Again, I'm going to put this up on the website tomorrow, so you have time to go and scour through them before the sale ends on Thursday. So yeah, you don't like remember back in the day you'd have to wait till the last day of the sale to make sure you're getting like the best deal because prices would change and they'd have flash sales and blah blah blah. But now you don't. Like it doesn't matter. So so yeah, I'll put this up tomorrow on the website and you guys can scour it. There's just a lot of great stuff on sale right now. And if you have disposable income, it's just a great time to be a gamer. A really great time.
But honestly, best bet, hit the curator page, go down the list.
Yeah.
Because everything that's on sale is painfully obvious, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Space Invaders Extreme is cheap. 60% off right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The curator page, if you haven't gone, is a great resource because it's updated regularly. It's updated all the time. There are 249 games on there.
Yep.
And I am brutally honest with my recommendations. So you'll see that a lot of games are recommended, but there are also a decent amount of shit on here. So I will definitely tell you what to avoid. Like don't buy Objects in Space. I don't care if it's on sale. Don't buy it. Don't get The Long Journey Home. I don't care if it's 90% off. Just don't waste your money.
Yeah, the only reason to get that one for that price is the soundtrack.
But you can get that separately now, right? You can buy soundtracks separately now.
Yeah, so get the soundtrack.
Yeah. Don't even bother with
skip
the game.
get the soundtrack.
Exactly. Don't even bother with the game. Yeah, like do not waste your money on Orbital Racer. It might be $1.49, but it's a broken. Oh my god, Kinetic Void is $5, you guys. What the shit?
That's a cockpit up right there.
That's a don't even know. You do better lighting a $5 bill on fire.
Hey, House of the Dying Sun is $7.
Okay,
It's
I
a good
guess. All right.
What?
Yes.
It's double good if you got VR.
I suppose. But yeah, the curator page, go follow that, folks. It's a very good resource. I update it all the time with as soon as I try and do new content, I update it regularly. And yeah, it lists all the games that are on sale right now, which is very handy.
All right, deal of the show: Iron Sky Invasion, $4.
Wait, let's take a look and see if it's been lower. It
Is
probably
that a
has been
hysterical low?
I think
Hysterical though.
I think it's been cheaper. I'll take a look, but I think it's been cheaper.
Halcyon 6, $2.99.
Yeah, that's a very good deal. Yeah, sadly, oh, that's been a while though. It's been $1.49 on Gamersgate, but that was 6 years ago. Oh my god,
That would have been early access, I think.
probably. But yeah, right now, the ultimate version for $5 of Iron Sky Invasion, definitely worth it. That is a shockingly fun game. Like it's like Star Raiders where you fly around and you jump around the map and fight space Nazis. And it's a shockingly good game. Like I was
Zeppelins.
Yeah.
It's more fun than it has any right to be.
Like it does not
And yet it
deserve
is.
Yeah, it does not deserve to be as fun as it is, but it is so fun.
Parkin
Oh yeah, $5
is 79 cents.
Was that?
Parkin' 2, 79 cents.
That's worth it. If you really want some of the height of Russian jank, yeah, you can't go wrong with Parkin 2. It is some of the Russianiest, jankiest space gaming you will find.
In Russia, ship fly you.
Oh God, this game, I love this game. Don't get me wrong, but like it is, you have to have a tolerance for a certain level of jank to play Parkin 2. Oh yeah, sorry Jose, thank you for reminding me. Do you guys have any opinions about Stellaris DLCs? Because I do not.
Yes.
Okay. Jose is in the chat is asking if any of the Stellaris DLC is good.
Yeah,
Well-
I have a question about that too, because the only one that I don't have is Megacorp, which was $20 and now it's half off. And I
Wait,
just
well,
wanted-
there's a lot of DLC, and the shocking thing about it is I wasn't fully aware of all of the DLC that was coming out for it. I've stopped playing this game mainly because I couldn't stand the constant, like, every time there was a major update, it drastically changed how you played the game. Like I had to every time that they did something, I had to relearn the game, and I got burned by that with the whole Space Engineers debacle. So like every time they would update Space Engineers, it would like break everything and like it would change everything, and I just got tired of it. And so I think that they're at a pretty decent point where they're not doing as much heavy like alterations to the game. I will say that the synthetic like Dawn story pack was pretty good. I did like the Utopia stuff, but I've got nothing. Like I don't really have like I've got the Planetoid Species pack, the complete soundtrack, and then the anniversary portraits, which was free. But like I don't have the Humanoid Species pack. I don't have the Distant Star story pack. I don't have a Apocalypse Megacorp, Ancient Relics, what was it, Lithoids, or Federations. So
yeah, a lot of it
Yeah.
is DLC that's just cosmeticness, though.
yeah.
Like lithoids, like you know.
Oh yeah. So
Um,
so anything that's a species pack, that's definitely all cosmetic.
Yeah, which I wish that they did more with the ships, really. Like, because there's only one ship type for each species type. And I wish that there was a lot more variety of ships if they could be bothered to do that. But yeah, the Federations thing. See, the thing with Stellaris is you get the majority of the DLC for free as the patch, and then like what's in the DLC that you have to have the DLC to do. So that's kind of a factor. Like with the Megacorp, well, you can't play that one particular type of government without it. But other than that, you got everything, I think.
And their recent update too added like more like galaxy life. So like they're seeing like the world seems like it's more active. I guess. I think it's one of those things where maybe I need to now that they've got some stuff out for it, I might need to take another dive into it. But I'm so far behind on the DLC stuff because of the constant update cycle that they were doing that like I've kind of got a bitter taste to it. So like I mean, if you like Stellaris, I'm sure some of these DLCs are probably going to be fun for you if you already like the game. So more power to you. But me personally, you know, all of the species packs is cosmetic junk. Not, I wouldn't say cosmetic junk. I mean, you are technically allowed to play as a different race, which does give you it does give you the ability to have some unique trait options, I believe. I think like the synthetic ones, like you get some unique trait options with that because of your synthetic. The only good thing that I think that came out of the Stellar stuff was the Star Trek mod that they did for it, but even then I don't know how much that's been kept up with since
Well, yeah,
all of these
that's
changes
the
occurred.
problem is because they make that mod and it was a good mod, and then like a couple months later, it's like, oh yeah, we rebooted the whole game, busted all your mods.
And the reason why the mods got busted was because the fundamental mechanics of the game made it so the mod no longer made sense. And so like, you know, you have all these different species that have different warp types, right? Or like capabilities of travel. and that applied really nicely with the Star Trek mod, because like you have different species who in Star Trek had different types of like travel. Like sure, warp is like a pretty standard thing amongst most, but you know, like the Borg use like subspace nodes and stuff like that. So it's like it's different.
Yeah, specifically the Borg is what broke my heart in the Star Trek mod, because they put in that war fatigue thing where it's like, the population's really sick of war. It's like, bro, I'm the Borg. This is what we do. Right? Or the Klingons. It's like, we're really tired of war. Yeah,
it's
I
like,
guess,
no, you're not Klingon.
Yeah.
The morale should go up the longer you're at war.
Or as long as you're winning.
It should be like Starfleet. It should be like Starfleet 2. Oh, I need to boost morale. Let's beam some guys into the sun. That'll work.
Huzzah!
I mean, to be fair to Stellaris, they did change project leads a couple of times, and that's what led to the change in tone and direction of the game. So, to an extent, it can be understood that, well, yeah, they changed things around because they changed who's in charge.
Yeah. So to make a long answer long, any of the DLC that has pack on it, you're probably like not going to get a whole lot out of it. As where anything that is like, for example, Utopia, Apocalypse, Megacorp, Federations, those are the bigger DLC like things to get. I'm not saying don't get the packs, but like if you're wanting to talk about like actually like more content rich additions, the non-pack DLCs are going to be the ones that you'll probably want to get.
Now, friends, I'll just throw out there, if you like Stellaris and you want an actual better game, go play either Distant Worlds Universe, Imperium Galactica 2, or Sword of the Stars. The first Sword of the Stars, not the second. First.
Or play Sins of a Solar Empire with the Star Trek Armada 3 mod.
Also a good pick.
That's a good time.
A good pick. So there are, I mean, people like Stellaris. They like what they like, but we're just saying there are better options, we think.
Yeah, and I took such a long, I also took such a long break from it because I was tired of the constant crazy updates that I need to give it an honest re-look just to kind of see what it's like now. Just to keep it fair, you know what I'm saying? Like it's been so long.
All right, friends, we're gonna cut it there. Thank you so much for listening and watching on the stream. Again, don't forget there are very useful, good tools that are all free to find the best deals. Is there any deal? The Steam database, gg.deals, and the augmented Steam browser extension are some of the best tools you can get. Some of the best tools you can get to find the best deals. So if you're a bargain hunter like us, you need those on your tool belt. Don't know what the topic is going to be for next week because my brain has been fried lately. I started a new gig and it's great, but you know how it is when you start a new gig, it just exhausts you. So I don't know what the topic will be for next week, but there'll be something. We'll see you.
The topic for next week is going to be, do we need more bananas in space? So that's be on the lookout for that.
Yes, we have more bananas. So tomorrow we're going to be playing.
But do we have more bananas today?
Sure. We're going to be playing Heat Signature on the stream tomorrow. Thursday, I don't know yet, but Thursday afternoon we're going to be returning to Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor for some co-op. That'll be fun. And then Friday we'll be back with more Free Space. So thanks again, everyone, for watching and listening. You guys are the best. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time for some more Heat Signature. Have a great one, y'all. Bye-bye.